Welcome to Ballinlough for a Lidl National League game, and that has never been said before. A little bit of history here. Ladies football is breaking new ground in County Meath, North County Meath, and the chairperson is with me from the local club, Joe Farrelly. Joe, great day for you, despite the rain that's just started.
Yeah, the weather's a bit of a shame, but it really is. It's a historic day for us, and we're delighted to welcome Meath and Waterford here today.
You might get a bit of a knock there from Vicky Wall or Emma Duggan, one of these girls in the background here. We're out in the pitching, but it's a great pitch, and you've done great work obviously around here as well with the clubhouse and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's been a big few years for us now. We have a really dedicated development and pitch committee here. We have Vinnie Ryan, Jerry Mack, Seamus McGee and Eamon Farley looking after this pitch like a baby. We won Grounds of the Year last year in Meath, which was a huge accolade for us. And, you know, it's great to show it off today, and a new development over here behind us as well.
I've never had a pitch before called a baby, but I think I know what you mean. You've given it lots of care and attention.
Exactly. And look, we were a little bit worried in the lead up to this with all the weather that it mightn't be playable, but it's a testament to how well it's looked after. That it's in great condition, and it'll be good for the match today.
And a good crowd here as well. I'm looking around. There's about I think over 500 tickets have been sold as well. So people coming in here, as you say, it is showing it off, and your clubhouse will be full as well. You've done so much work, and the walkway around it as well is class too.
Yeah, no, it's really a community centre these days. You know, it's broader than just a football club. We try and get people down to use the walking track. We have a gym inside in our facilities, meeting rooms, community rooms. So we're trying to just bring everyone in there, not just the football players. So it's great to really get to show it off today.
And Meath ladies footballers have been training here the last month or so, I gather. So they obviously like it here, and Davy Nelson, the manager, likes it here, and they're hoping to get the result today. All we need, though, is for you guys to get a senior ladies Gaelic football team. Where are you going with that?
It's in the pipeline. So last year
Well, this will help.
Yeah, this will be a big help. We affiliated with the LGFA for the first time last year, so we currently have an under 10 and under 12s team, and we're hoping to let that grow the whole way to adult football. So it'll be great to see where the future takes us.
Absolutely brilliant, Joe. I'll let you go because you have a lot of work to do. You've been running around since early morning. You were here as early as us, so you have a lot to do, but thanks for that. But there's a great buzz about the place.
There is. It's great to see, and I'm very excited about the whole thing, and I better go finish my few jobs before it starts. Thank you very much.
All right, and milk with no sugar. All right, let's go now and get a message from our sponsors, and after that we'll go through the teams.
We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
Lidl, the sponsors, National League, the competition, and it is Division 1, and it is that Meath team up against Waterford here today in Ballinlough in North County Meath. North County Meath and Meath Club Ground of the Year for 2022. And the big news there with Meath is, of course, that Vicky Wall is back from Australia and named at number 30 today, so we expect to see her feature at some point. And Ciara Trant is with me. Ciara, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
What sort of a team is it that you can have Emma and Vicky on the bench? I mean, that's an unusual situation, isn't it? I guess it's just the league, I guess, but what a luxury to have. Is that the right word to put it?
Yeah, definitely. Not when you're playing against them, though.
No.
Yeah, I think them coming off the bench, it's hard to prepare. Waterford will be struggling to prepare for that. I'm sure they'll have a plan in place, but you know, they're coming on with fresh legs, or I expect them to come on with fresh legs anyway. And there's a lot of threat there. They need to get their legs in the game. They need to get a bit of match time to prepare for championship. That's right around the corner. So, you know, the result is big for me today. They need lots of wins, but they need to start finding form for championship. And Emma and Vicky are huge players for them. So the big high expectations of them off the bench.
Absolutely, they're looking a lift today. I mean, if you look at their 5 games so far under the manager Davy Nelson, they've scored 1 goal and it was a fluke.
Yeah.
Now, Mary Kate was actually arguing with quite funny earlier on. She was saying, I'm the top goal scorer. She's the only goal scorer they've had so far. And it's only the one goal. But I mean, last year in the league, I mean, they scored, what was it, 8 last year and 14 the year before. I mean, it's unusual. But obviously it shows where they are at the minute and in their attitude towards the league. But they really need a spark. They need something to lift their year, don't they?
Yeah, like a lot of their goals would come through the likes of Vicky and Emma. Whether they're the finishers or not, they're such key players down their central channel of the pitch. So you can say maybe that's the reason behind Meath, relying on other players to be those links so far in the league campaign. But then you look at Waterford as well. They're very tight defensively. Meath aren't scoring. Waterford are very, very structured, so goals are probably going to win the game today, and you flip that around and Waterford are scoring plenty of them.
Yeah, Waterford haven't conceded a goal in their last 3 games. We did their last game against Galway and there wasn't even any sign of a goal. Nothing in the entire game for either side. It's kind of the way a lot of games are played. Maggie Farley, the referee, is out in the middle with the 2 captains. It's Shauna Ennis out there with Karen McGrath. Don't think it'll make a pile of difference. There's a bit of rain, but not any wind to talk of. And let's have a look now at the Meath team. Actually, we have been talking about it. Let's have a look at it without Emma and Vicky. And there are 2 changes. So Monica McGurk isn't in goals today. That's unusual as well. Robin Murray comes in, and she played in the O'Connor Cup last week, and she's actually from Navan O'Mahony, so it would have been a home game for her at Park Talton, but she is getting to play, and it's an unusual one there. It's an opportunity for her. And Ali Sherlock is in number 24 for Shelley Melia as well. But Ciara, you're a goalkeeper, of course. Robin Murray, do you know much about her, and what's it like for a young goalkeeper coming in there to play in a game like this?
Yeah, she's had a very good season with colleges. I was quite impressed with her in the O'Connor Cup, so she can transfer her form into the match today. It's good that she has game time. She's not coming in raw. There'll be a little bit less pressure on her own shoulders from herself coming into the game today. I think Monica struggled with her kickouts against Galway as well, so there's opportunities for Robin to lay down a marker here. If she can nail that, and having played against Waterford and their press on the kickouts, that's a very difficult thing to achieve. They take up all the space. They're really, really good at it. So she will be under pressure. Meath will put a lot of emphasis on kickouts. So it's a big, big day for her today. But there's nothing really on the line for Meath anymore. So she can kind of go out without that kind of needing result pressure and just perform with nothing at the end of it, no consequences at the end of it.
Yeah, those are a few very interesting points, in particular the goalkeeping kickouts. I mean, I remember last year, well, obviously the All-Ireland final 2 years ago, Dublin Meath, I mean, you didn't press the Meath kickouts at all, so they just got the ball from the kickout, whereas in the league game, no, that was the championship game, wasn't it, the round game at Parnell Park, and in the second half you were quite well behind, but then you pressed right up in the kickouts and you got a lot of joy. Once you put pressure on the kickouts and made Monica kick long, Meath seemed to struggle. Yeah,
Meath like to win the ball like inside their own 45, win it short and work the ball through the hands. Meath are at biggest threat when they have ball in hand coming off the shoulders in 3s and 4s, and they know that's their strength, so they try to play to advantage on that in the kickouts. But Waterford don't allow any space, long or short, on kickouts. They're very, very drilled. So regardless of whether Monica likes to go long or short today, those options are going to be very difficult to find.
Absolutely. Who'd be a goalkeeper? Let's have a look at Waterford now. They have 1 change in their team, and Hannah Power, number 7, is injured. She's replaced by Kate McGrath, wearing 19. And as you said, I mean, they're very tight the way they play. Now, I'm looking at the positions here. Megan Dunford, the last day, I mean, she's playing full-back. She scored a point. And Emma Murray scored 7 points. So, they do rotate a lot. And Breach McMahon, number 14, like, she's all over the place. And Karen McGrath is sort of a sweeper. So they just play as almost a group of players that just move around the pitch wherever it is. It didn't allow for a fantastic spectacle the last day, but it's going to be an interesting clash of styles today against Meath, do you feel?
Yeah, I think there'll be fairly similar styles in how they both attack and defend. They both like to get numbers behind the ball, and they both like to attack in one big massive wave, counter-attack. I think what's going to be critical is when both defences are set up, it'll be the timing of the runs off the shoulders. For Waterford, they'll be relying on Emma Murray to break that line, to get into the scoring zone, to take her score. She's massive pace. She's extremely, extremely strong. And then you've got the likes of Laura McGregor, and she's a poacher. If anything's there, any scrappy goal to be got, she's the one that's going to get it. And I expect to see her nipping in behind the Meath defence and getting on the end of maybe balls that are dropping short, coming off the post, stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting. But we know Meath's strengths when they come at pace, when they get off the shoulder. You've players that can kick from distance, but you've also got players that can slip goals, like Stacey Grimes. So I think they'll be quite similar styles. It's just who can execute that pace off the shoulder in an attacking sense inside the opposition 45 is probably going to win the game.
Well, bearing that in mind then, do you expect the likes of Vicky and Emma to come on second half and do that sort of work and make a difference? I mean, is the script already written that way in a way? Like, the coming back from Australia, named at number 30, is it written in the stars that she's going to come in, and is she going to make that difference? Because Meath haven't been doing that in the league so far. They haven't been cutting through the way that she takes the ball at an angle and so on.
Well, she has to. She's coming back. She's straight into the panel. If she comes,
I have to pause for the anthem. We'll come back to that in a second. The rain is coming down, but the call comes up, come on Meath. It's new ground for them playing here in Ballinlough, and a nice atmosphere at the ground here. Despite the wintry weather, it doesn't matter. And Waterford there, Ciara, they look like they're wearing Dublin jerseys. Your change jersey, isn't it? The sort of the nice navy there. But the point you were making about Vicky, she has to make an impact here when she comes on. Yeah,
she does. She's been abroad playing a professional sport. And you have girls on the team there that have been training and slogging it out for the last couple of months. So if Vicky gets her chance to get her boots dirty today, she has to perform. She has to lay down a marker, and that's just out of respect for her teammates. And there is definite massive respect for her. She's a phenomenal player and a huge, huge leader. But at the same time, everybody has to dig their heels in. And Vicky's no better woman to do it as well. She shows up on big days.
Absolutely. And talking about big days, it's Mother's Day, of course, and there's a lovely line actually in the subs here that I've been waiting to mention. Number 25 for Waterford, is that Evelyn, A-O-B-H-A, Evelyn, and her second name is Motherway. So it's destined. I mean, and do you know what club she plays for? Shamrocks. And after St. Paddy's Day, I mean, it's written in the stars this week. Don't worry, these are the nerdy things that commentators find out when they're doing their research. But if she comes on and get a goal, that's my line. Mother's Day is made for Motherway. So it's Meath against Waterford. They played last year in the league, and it was Waterford 1-2, Meath 1-10, and that was down in Waterford. But of course, before that, Meath weren't in Division 1 for quite a while. Waterford weren't in it too much either, but they're both up now, and they're both safe. That's the important thing for them as well. And I'm just looking around to see if there's any positional switches as Maggie Farley, the referee, directs a little bit of traffic and tells the players where to go. So it is Waterford in the navy, and Meath in their traditional green, of course, at home. Lidl Division 1, and we're off and running. And that's Aoife Minogue, the tall player who is out there wearing number 9 for Meath, and she hasn't been in the panel in previous years, so she's a new one. If you're just watching Meath for the first time, this girl has been around more than any Meath player. 2008 she made her debut, Niamh O'Sullivan. So there you have the extremes. And they are a changing panel. They're all changing panels and trying players in the league. And this girl has done very well, Aoife Minogue. She's a camogie player. Certainly I know her as a camogie player in previous years. And she has done very, very well for Meath there. But she's done well in the league. She scored a point, and she's from the Dundee club. And this is a familiar Meath pattern. They've got it to Niamh Galloway. What's she doing away up in the right corner? I did say players can appear everywhere, but Niamh named it right half and nearly getting in for a score. And Stacey Grimes there, I think, has fouled. And Maggie's pointing, she has to go back to take it from, maybe she gave a little bit of advantage there, but a foul. And it's Waterford possession now, and as I said, numbers mean nothing. This is Anya O'Neill for them, and they will try and work it forward, and it is that clash of styles we were talking about. I'm looking off camera, and there's lots of Meath players back sitting around their around the D area, trying to guard that area. So it'll be interesting to see. And it'll be interesting to see if there's even any goals today, Ciara, because, as I say, Meath 1 goal in 5 games, and Meath and Waterford haven't conceded in 3. So we're not expecting fireworks that way. But you never know. Here is Breed McMaw from Ballymacarbery. She scored 6 points. This is Annie Fitzgerald going through, and she's actually been penalised there. That's going to be a free out. And already, Ciara, the pattern is set.
Yeah, straight away. Maggie Farley the ref had to tell Waterford to 2 corner forwards to start in the corner forward position. They're already
that's true.
retreating to get numbers behind the ball, and then Stacey Grimes is the only player in the Waterford half of the field on Waterford's attack.
Ciara Smith is number 12, and she's trying to manufacture, but she's blowing for over carrying there. But yeah, that's an interesting point. She actually had to tell them, you're in the corner, and they're going, but we're not playing in the corner. We're all defensive, but for the start of the game, she said you had to go and play in the corner. That tells its own story. Waterford now. And that's one of the Murrays. There's another Murray. There's so many Murrays. And there's the triplets, of course. And then there's a sister of the triplets, Cora, who wears number 2. Aoife is wearing number 4. Emma's 6. And Maggie gives that free again to Niamh O'Sullivan for Meath, and she just leaves it there. And it's Waterford now retreating. Shauna Ennis pops it into Smith, leaves it off, and the player off the shoulder is Megan Tyne, and there's a nice ball in there, and she does really well. This is super football, and this is the number 24, and she went for did she actually go for a goal there? I think she did. She ended up with neither, but it's good, fast, direct approach work.
Yeah, Niamh O'Sullivan, very, very cute, got in behind the Waterford defence there. Good, quick hands to run her off her shoulder. I think there was a bit of a loss of footing when the shot was taken, but unlucky. That could have been a goal chance. It should have been a goal for Meath.
But that's how to beat this kind of defence, isn't it? The quick play and the running off the shoulder. That's what they need. And they might get another chance now because Aoibhinn Cleary has got it, and she is great at running with the ball. O'Shaughnessy's gone up in support, but Stacey Grimes has it. She might take it herself, and she does. She's the shooter, but I think she's put that to the left. And has it gone over? No, it's just gone over the bar. It's hard to see from here, but she has got her point, and she's actually the top scorer. But she scored 12 points, and they're all from free. So that's actually her first score from play, and she's their main shooter, which tells the story as well. But she does get the point, and it's 1-0 for them. Now the kick out similar to the last one, and it's gone to Meath again, and it's gone to Cleary again. She's won the last 2 kickouts. Waterford will need to look at that. They have got it back though. They've won the ball back, and this is Emma Murray, and the shout is to give and go. That's kind of the style as well. Now there's Aoibhinn Waring is available, but is she going to get it? She does get it now. This is Waring, the midfielder. She just pops it in there, but it's not accurate enough, and Anya Sheridan is going to get it. And she's actually penalised there for pushing, although the way I saw that, I have to say, it looked like the player sort of backed under and she put her hands up, but it's a free in.
Yes, sometimes you have to be cute and win your free in situations like that, and there's unfortunately nothing a defender can really do.
Yeah, it sort of looked like it, but I don't think it was a push as such. It was the player coming back in there because the ball was actually played over her head. That created the problem, but it's ended in a free, and is that going to drop in? And the ref has blown square ball. Square ball, yeah. Free out. So yeah, they didn't have the distance with that kick. This is Gallogly and Ennis and Tyne. She's the transition player, but she's not able to transition there because Waterford have closed the door there. So she's forced to go back inside to Mary-Kate Lynch, and there is, you expect to see Monica in there, don't you?
Yeah, it was a fantastic ball from Robin there to switch the play. Great strike. She looks very confident.
Yeah, as you were saying, she had the advantage of playing last week. She had a few games, so her confidence should be up. So it's a good time to bring her in. And here's a chance now for Cleary. I thought she was going to go for it herself, but again, she gives it to the shooter, and that is Niamh. And that's not the best of shots, though, and it's going to drop. In fact, the keeper's going to keep it in. That's Evelyn O'Brien. So a low-key start, which is pretty much as we expected. A bit of a tactical battle. This is Dunford giving it to Cora Murray. And they are giving and going and moving it up, and this is Waring again. Made good progress the last time, and that's a good turn and drop of the shoulder from Waring. Waring number 8, and this is McMaw. Challenge comes in from Minogue. 11 is Fitzgerald's, and it goes back to Waring, and that's a dangerous one for the keeper to deal with, and it's square ball again.
Yeah, I can't really see from here, but
you can see the replay here. Maybe you might get a better idea of it, but you don't often see many square balls given in ladies football, and that's 2 in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, probably marginally inside
Yes.
She could also get away with that as well. But Meath are forcing Waterford to kick from distance, so those balls dropping short, they have to ensure that somebody's in there at the end of it for a spill ball or just to get a fingertip to it.
It is a long kick pass. You don't see too many of them, but it's another push, and it's this time on Stacey Grimes. We'll come to the kickouts in a minute. Ciara, I'll bring you in on that in a minute. They might get another one in a second, but they've had two that they haven't profited from Waterford, as that ball from Grimes is played into the corner. It's actually Smith, I think, who's picked that up, and she's got it back to Stacey. Comes inside to Amy O'Leary. And Stacey really is directing the play. She is the playmaker. And now Tynan, she's got two players off the shoulder. Minogue's there. She might give it to Ennis. She does. Shauna sort of runs out of room. And Neve is there to take it up. Two-footed player, of course. And gets a little bit of room. She shrugs off Murray and gives it out to Minogue. Does Minogue fancy it? She's just going to drop it in there. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass, but neither worked. Now, what about these kickouts, Ciara?
Waterford are very, very static on their kickouts, and their defence aren't really moving. Might see a bit of a change here, but from the first two they seem just to be going long. They've overloaded the keeper's left and they're just trying to get numbers under the ball. Yeah.
And so she's just popped it up high, so it's a 50-50, and Meath have won it for the third time in a row. O'Sullivan gives it to Minogue, and they have lots of players over on this right hand side, but they go left instead, and Cleary will take it on, and she has support there from O'Shaughnessy and pops it into the corner to Sherlock. And she does go right into the corner over on the clubhouse side of the ground here in Ballinlough. And there's a run from Smith, but it doesn't go to her. They come back out to O'Shaughnessy and now to O'Sullivan, who's loitering out there with intent, but gives it into Gallogly. She's tried one already, I think it was, and didn't work, so she leaves it off this time. And Minogue now slips it inside. They're just trying to get a little angle, and now they've got it to the right player in the right angle, in the right position, and Eve O'Sullivan does what she does.
Yeah, sitting in the pocket waiting for that ball to be popped back out to her. And lovely strike, very typical Niamh O'Sullivan.
2 points to one, and good patient play. And let's have a look at this kick out again now. So the last three have not worked. They've all been just pumped up in the air, and she's forced to do the same again. And when you have players like Minogue and Ennis in there to win it, they've won it for the fourth time, and that's the second time O'Sullivan has picked up the scraps, and Murray has managed to win it back, but that's obviously an area that Waterford need to rethink a little bit. Now when they have it though, as Ciara was saying, they are quite adept at going forward and working their way through, even though Meath are retreating in numbers. McMaw out on the left hand side now will want to go in on her right. Leaves it off instead to the corner forward Lauren McGregor, and that's a foul on her, and the referee will tick for that. But yeah, would you agree, Ciara, that they're quite good when they get forward, when they get going?
Yeah, like they have shooters up front. They just need to get them into those positions. McGregor won the ball well there and took on her player, drew the free. Possibly that's something they need to play to more in order to get scoreable chances, free from pressure.
Should pop this over, and does. That's Waring, and that's 2 points each after nearly 10 minutes of this game, and it is, as we expected, a tight tactical battle. And there's a better kick out from Robin Murray at the other end, and she does go short, and it's very successful, and it means that Meath have the ball, and as Ciara was saying earlier, when they have the ball, that's when they can really hurt you. They need to get the ball, and they have it, but they're not making much progress here. They're having to go all the way back. They don't mind doing that. They have got players who can run with it, and Gallogly is looking for it, and she gets it on this right hand side, pops it inside to Tyne, and Tyne, oh, that's a lovely ball, is it? Oh no, it was dangerous. It looked dangerous. It looked like it might be a goal creating pass, but didn't quite work. But you saw what she was trying to do. Did I say 2-2? It's 2-1. Sorry, 2 points to 1. There is a scoreboard here on the ground as well. I'm checking. Yeah, it is 2 points to 1. Sorry, I thought it was 2-2. Waterford's awarded a free there for a foul on Murray. And the referee just calmed things down. I think it was Minogue who maybe made the challenge. But yeah, 2 points to 1. Where did I get one from? I wonder earlier on. There was a free, of course, and there was a few dropped in. But no, that was their first score of the game. They haven't scored from play yet. Waterford, 2 points to 1 down. Low scoring here in Ballinlough. They go again. Waring looking for it, but they come back. And here's the number 4, Aoife Murray, coming up. Gives it out towards 19, which is Kate McGrath, but goes over her. So they just go from side to side to try and get a little pocket of space, but O'Shaughnessy comes out to try and close the door on Eve Power. They're just trying to get in there. That's McGrath again, and that's O'Neill, who strangely enough has scored, no, it's Annie Fitzgerald I was thinking about. She scored 2 goals but no points. That's a dangerous one again. No square ball this time, and Meath do deal with it. But it's almost as if, as I've just watched the goalkeeper deal with this, Ciara, it's almost as if Waterford haven't found their range yet, and they keep dropping balls in and around the square. They've done that 3 or 4 times. Sorry, they're going to go again, so we'll keep going here with the commentary as Lauren McGregor has it, but that's going to go to the left. And yeah, they just don't seem to have found their range, Waterford.
Yeah, the pitch does seem to be quite heavy, but they'd be used to that kind of turf down in Farrer Field as well. But you know, if those 2 square balls weren't called, there's possibly 2 goal chances that could have come from that. So, you know, it's ball dropping short isn't always a bad thing to happen if someone's on the end of them. You know.
But do you think they're deliberate, or
no,
are they just not finding their range?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they're not finding the range, but you can still get a bit of luck from them. But Waterford's problem at the moment is their players are ahead of the ball or they're going lateral. There's no one really coming off the shoulder at pace, you know, to break the line and bring it into the scoring zone.
Well, Waring's trying to do that right now, and that is a decent effort. But again, it's dropped short, and again, Meath have dealt with it in there, and they just did have someone on that occasion. But it's Sheridan who's done well back there to mind the house for Meath. But that's now 4 times, I think, that the balls from Waterford have dropped in there, whether they're going for scores or whatever they're doing. It's not working for them. But
that time, Ali Sherlock, or not Ali Sherlock, Sheridan, sorry, the ball should be in one rather than trying to palm it. Secure possession, draw your free, or create space to pull the trigger rather than trying to get a touch to it in those situations.
Now O'Sullivan trying to profit. She puts it into the corner to Galogly, and Galogly comes inside and goes on her left foot, and has she got that? Oh, she's very unlucky. It comes off the post. That was close from Galogly, who scored 4 points in the league so far. Nearly profited, and the pass was from her clubmate from Dunshaughlin, Niamh O'Sullivan. I thought she might have been come back, but she tried herself a la Niamh O'Sullivan, but just didn't quite manage it. This is number 7, Cleary, and good bit of play, by the way, on that move as a follow this one by Ciara Smith to win the ball. Good strong play from her, getting out in front and winning the ball for her team. Excellent young player, of course, from Screen. She was in the panel in 2021. She was brought in then when they won the All-Ireland. She didn't play that year, but she was only 16 and she has that experience. A super player, and she's now getting lots of game time, wearing number 12 out there. This is Megan Dunford to O'Neill. They do have room over on this side for Karen McGrath again, the captain of the team, and she instantly looks to pop it into the corner because they profited in that area. This is Annie Fitzgerald. 2 goals but no points in 5 games. And it's a waiting game, a patient game for Waterford now with Kellyanne Hogan to Murray, Emma Murray, and she drops inside Smith, but there's lots of green jerseys there. Just pops it in, but look, there's a hand there again from Sheridan, and Sheridan has done well there a few times for her team, and she does well not to foul, but that one has found the range, and that's a good finish from Eva Waring, and that is their 2nd score of the game, both from her, and that was a good finish from her.
Yeah, really good. Defender distance, lovely strike of the ball. Waterford kind of drew the players, Meath defenders, to the ball. That enabled them to find space to get the shot off to the free player sitting in the pocket, so that worked for them. Should be identified and used their strengths a bit more in this half.
And now it is 2-2, and this is O'Shaughnessy coming forward. They're moving it through the hands, and that's good play by Smith again. She is doing well in there as a sort of a target link player, and Stacey Grimes pops a brilliant ball into Niamh O'Sullivan. That's vintage Meath, and a vintage Meath goal, and they have turned on the style in Ballinlough here for this historic game at the grounds here, Meath Club Grounds of the year 2022. They are now hosting the All-Ireland champions, and they have scored a goal that reminds us of what they can do over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that, like, Stacey Grimes gave a lovely ball there to Niamh O'Sullivan, but the other way around, Niamh O'Sullivan will be looking to give that sort of ball to Stacey Grimes as well. They're so in tune with each other, and you can see more goals just like that happening again. And this is the 5th kick out now lost from Waterford.
And it's Meath with possession again. It's O'Sullivan now popping up on the left side. She has got her mojo back and she's now on her left side, and that again is vintage Meath. That's what they can do, and she just taps her teammate for that and says thank you. But you're right, yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, actually just before they won the All-Ireland, they played Clare, or was it the Intermediate, in Portlaoise, and they absolutely destroyed them, and Stacey Grimes played a ball into Niamh O'Sullivan and she turned bang back of the net. It's that link between the two of them. They're both beautiful players off either foot.
Yeah, such a threat, so skillful, and so slight as well. They're so quick thinking and quick to act on what they think. Massive threats.
Now, how can Waterford come back? They have scored just the 2 points there, now 3 down. A little bit of urgency about the number 9, Kellyanne Hogan, now trying to get forward, and Waring, who has scored their only points so far. And that is Fitzgerald trying to barge her way through and is penalised, actually, and it's going to be a free out. A little bit of frustration there for her, and maybe that will creep into Waterford's play. Now Marie, that kick out has been spotted and intercepted very well by Breeze McMaw, so she's got it back for Waterford and has given it to Cara McCarthy, who's actually from Dunboyne, but not this Dunboyne, and they get a free in. Good pressure and good response there from Waterford. They seem to have upped their game slightly, Ciara.
Yeah, and Breed McMahon was well alert there. You could see her reading the play before the ball was even struck to intercept it. And that's twice Aoife Minogue has been caught now for a tackle by swinging the arm in on the ball. So she'll have to be careful.
Yeah, there was one out here, but she didn't get spoken to or anything, so she hasn't been penalised for that. That's dropping in again, and it's dangerous. They might get a goal this time, and they don't, because Meath have managed to defend it, and indeed it is a free out. You feel, Ciara, do you, one of these is going to drop in the net?
Yeah, I think Sherlock should be doing, Lauren McGregor should be doing a lot more. That's twice she's kind of gone to like volleyball style fist the ball over the bar rather than winning possession of it. You know, it's not working for her, so she'll need to change something now. But they could have easily got a goal from that as well.
Great play from Gallogly there to drop inside and break the line, and then Ennis gives it to the playmaker. The playmaker is Grimes, but this time it doesn't stick, and Waterford are going to get the ball back. And this game has just gone up a notch in the last couple of minutes. It's got a little bit more interesting. Meath hadn't scored they'd scored 1 goal in 5 games, and that was from their full back, but this time their forwards have found their mojo. They have got back into it, and that was a super goal for them, and it's put 4 points now between the teams with the added point from Niamh O'Sullivan. Waterford now having to respond, and they do look capable, but it's this position when they get the ball here, they're trying to work it through the hands and it's not quite working. Waring scored 2 points, but again that's another ball that is not going to do, and it's going to be a 45, but basically they can't find a way through.
No, they can't, and that's another shot from Kellyanne Hogan from distance. She can put them over, but all we have to do now is make sure that once she comes into their half the field, that someone is just sticking to her like glue on that top of the D area. But Waterford had a lot more pace in that attack. Their transition was a bit speedier. It wasn't slow. It wasn't lateral and through the hand. So when there's opportunity to do that, they need to go for it. And then when Meath have players back, they need to slow it down and control the game a lot more. And on Meath's last attack there, Megan Dunford was sitting in behind on the penalty spot, well aware that ball over the top can't happen again.
It must be a nightmare playing against Meath. I mean, they're so tough in there, the way they have that in there. It's so hard to get through. I mean, Waterford at the minute seem to be scratching their heads. Then again, I mean, they had the exact same problem with Galway 2 weeks ago. They couldn't get through there either as well. So it's the problem that you face in the modern game. Yeah,
but for every problem you need to find a solution, and you know that's the challenge. That should be the fun of it. But they're doing the same thing and they're not getting the result from it at the moment, so they need to try something a little bit new. You know, execute a different game plan, or put a different process and attack into play. Maybe a bit more width in there to pull Meath laterally, but they're going into that danger zone, that swamp kind of area that Meath are just going to wrap them up and just intercept the ball.
Yeah, they just did that exactly again. They're trying to go through the middle, and it's just too congested, isn't it?
Yeah. But in fairness to Waterford, they're putting pressure on Meath, coming out with the ball now, getting turnovers. Do a bit more of that, and they'll have a bit of luck to counter attack and could get something from it. Anya
O'Neill now for the Dacia. And she will have to slip it inside. A couple of slick passes, but again, they just keep coming back through the middle, going sideways, and trying to work out a way through. but just not getting there. And I suppose you have to give tribute to the Meath setup as well. It is working, to be fair, and it's working well for them. And look at this, she's got 4 or 5 players around her and eventually blocked down by 2 players. But Meath have been sloppy this way and given the ball away after they've won it. So there's still a chance, and there's a free in, so they might get a point at the end of it. But yeah, they've been a wee bit sloppy with their distribution after doing all the hard bits.
Yeah, just maybe it's just a purple patch for Waterford in the game, and Meath just need to settle a bit. Maybe they got maybe a bit too confident after the goal and thought, this is it, this is where we take control of the game. Have switched off a little bit, but they will come back into it. They will tidy up a little bit more.
It feels to me that as well that Meath are much more dangerous when they get up the field, because they've soaked up the pressure and they've drawn Waterford, and they're very good on the break, and they isolate players, as you say. Now Waterford are aware of that now, but they've already conceded a goal from that. Now what can we do from this? And they're also winning their kickouts, aren't they, Meath, a lot more?
Yeah. Meath seem to have free players all over the pitch. It looks like when Meath have the ball, it looks like there are more Meath players there. When Waterford have the ball, it still looks like they're outnumbered by green jerseys.
And there's Tyne putting it up towards Smith. That's been the pattern of the game. So it's interesting you mention that, because the setup for Meath is that Megan Tyne hugs the sideline out here. They hug either side, so they get real width in their play. And Waterford just don't seem to be having that. But when they get it, they also distribute it very well. And Tyne knows exactly what she's doing. And she either carries it or she distributes it very well as well. And there's lots of runners. So as soon as they get, and there you see there's an example there as well. This is Katie New now. She says, I'll have a go this time. And they just interchange so well, and now give it into Gallogly. They all know exactly where they're going to be. They've done this for a few years now. This is Cleary now. She's a brilliant runner with the ball. 2 All-Stars. She scored 1 point in the league so far. Is that the second? I think it might be going just to the left, or is it dropped in? No, it's dropped over. Second point of the league for Aoibhinn Cleary, and that's a smashing score, and that's exactly what Meath do well in their transition.
Yeah, they've a wave, this green wave coming through the middle third of the pitch. And fantastic score by Aoibhinn Cleary. That's massive for her confidence off the left boot from distance as well.
Now this kick out again, and again it's Meath winning it now. They might get it back, Waterford, but it looks, is it a Meath ball? No, it's a free out. But yeah, you contrast, Ciara, that last move with the way that Waterford have laboured to try and get through. It's just night and day.
Yeah.
Now Maggie Farley just ticking there for that challenge, but it's a Waterford ball with Murray. Gives it into Dunford. Can they get something going in the last 5 or 6 minutes off the half? They've only scored 3 points, and they have all been from one player. Now McMaw, challenged by New, who has popped up on this right hand side now following McMaw, but so adept as well as defending. She can take her place in this sort of transition as well, and she did that a minute ago. Now they work it out to McMaw again. Just outside, I would imagine, the scoring zone, and they're maybe wary of kicking because they've dropped so many short, but then they can't get close. This is the 19 McGrath. This is another approach to try and slip it in, but again it hasn't worked. It's too intricate, and now it's Meath who can break, and there's lots of grass there, lots of room, and they do have the runners, and this is one of them. And that's a great ball from Sherlock, and it's looked for Smith, and it's found Smith. Well, goodness, they've only scored 1 goal in 5 games, and they now were looking like they might get a second there, but good defending, Ciara.
Yeah, excellent strip there for me, for Murray, fantastic. I thought Evelyn O'Brien could have done a little bit better there to help out her defence. She should have been off her line and anticipating that ball over the top. There was a whole half of the pitch there for me to use to her disposal, so I thought she could have been a little bit more aware of that.
So you want the goalkeeper to come out and act as another defender and direct and shout and whatever. But
yeah, but Aoife Murray did fantastic there. Lovely strip.
Now this is Sherlock again. Fancied it there, did she? Dropped inside. Maybe it was just a dummy. Maybe she had no intention. Gallogly now, always willing to support, and we'll go back to Ennis. She knows that she's going to be there, and Ennis knows that Grimes is going to be there, and she'll be the playmaker. Or she'll pop it to Niamh O'Sullivan, and between the two of them they'll create something, and just as I say that, they give it away. Most unlike them, but it's a chance for Waterford now to break, and they haven't been able to break like this often, and Grimes is bowled over, and it's going to be, well, what way is it going, Ciara? She's talking to Grimes.
Yeah, I think Grimes there kind of looked, it's what every ladies football team are doing now, trying to draw the charge, take the hit. She put her body in the way there.
Have another look at it here. Will you see it? It's or is that, no, that's the previous incident. Sorry, no, it's not. That's a little bit further back. That was the challenge from Murray, which was very, very good. But yeah, it's interesting one that, and Maggie Farley called that and spoke to Grimes and took her name as well, I think. Ticked her. But yeah, it is a burning topic.
Yeah, I think there's a safety element to it as well. Putting your body on the line as well, it's not very safe. And with concussions and stuff like that, you're inviting someone to run right through you, and it's not great. So it's something that does need to be looked at the moment.
But is it fair to say that some players, some coaches look at it and say, well, if you just stand your ground and be brave, you're going to get your free?
Yeah.
But that didn't work for Stacey, and so good refereeing?
Yeah, I think good refereeing in that sense. Maybe Stacey went down a little bit too easy, perhaps. But that's
she's
how
not the biggest.
No, she's not, but she's one of the smartest as well. So
yeah. This is Tyne now. Drops his shoulder to come inside. Another of the camogie players, as I would know him, as Minogue and herself. This is Katie New. She'd be more of a soccer player if she's not playing Gaelic. In fact, she had a choice to make between the two of them back in 2017, and herself and Aoibhinn Cleary came into the Meath setup from the minors right at the same time, and it was soccer or it was Gaelic for Katie New, and she chose Gaelic, and the rest is history. In fact, Ciara, she played in a Division 3 league final and got roasted 3 goals off her, and it was against Wexford about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe at the most. I'll come back to that story in a second, because Waterford might get a goal chance here. She's trying very hard, but it seems to be already individual rather than teamwork, but she does persist and does get her score, and that's only the second player to score for them. Did really well there. But yeah, just to finish that story, in the league final she conceded 3 goals. Her player scored 3 goals, and they said to her afterwards, you need shoulders, you need to go to the gym. The next week she had a gym in her house, and she developed from there. It was all part of the Meath development, I guess, but she was a very young player back then, and she's turned into an important player on the team and links up very well with the goalkeeper and going forward as well. Coming up to half time now, 2 minutes to go to half time, but a good point that last one there, wasn't it? Although, as I say, it was all her own work.
They are relying on that. You're right, they're going in once they're inside the 45, and that works when you're drawing your frees, but when the opportunity to shoot is there, they're not getting anything from it.
Galugly now, and that ball's been moved forward. I think the referee spotted a tug on the jersey of Ciara Smith. That seems to be what she's indicating. And Waterford are aware of that threat, and it was Cora Murray, I think, who was marking Ciara Smith. And they've been putting a lot of balls made directly at Ciara Smith, and she's been winning a lot of them, but maybe a little tug there spotted by the referee. And this is O'Sullivan, and she's misplaced that again. That's been 2 or 3 from her, very unlike her. And it means that Kellyanne Hogan has it, and Waterford trying to get forward quickly, but not wasted either, to play it accurately. And they have players over here, and that's good, strong running. And they do have players over here, because Waring is there, and McMaw is there inside as well. Now, what do? Can they do something different? Waring fancies it. She scored 3.5 already, but just puts that to the right, and that has to go down as a wasted opportunity.
A waste of opportunity. I think Katie New was pulling out of Lauren McGregor in around the penalty spot there. That could have been spotted. It's just she'll need to be careful. But Lauren McGregor's just poaching. She's looking to get on the end of something in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if something comes from her.
Yeah, the referee didn't spot that one that time, but you did.
I did. Yeah, the umpires could do a better job of spotting it maybe sometimes.
Minogue now for Meath goes crossfield to Tyne, and Megan has options inside and outside, gives it to Grimes and O'Sullivan, and back to Grimes. The two playmakers together, and Tyne again. That's well worked to Cleary. She tries to break the line and get through, and off the post. That's the second time Meath have hit the post. They might do better though. It's gone to the net. It's been lashed to the net by Amy O'Leary. She's only scored 1 point in the league so far. She's got her start today, and what a finish. And Meath are really turning on the style in the first half. Only 1 goal in 5 games before today, and that was from Mary Kate Lynch, the fullback, who was claiming to be the top goal scorer. Can't claim it anymore. Good finish, wasn't it? Yeah,
she only had goal in her mind. Unlucky for Aoibhinn Cleary not to score a point. She got herself into a good position there, but yeah, very, very clinical finish there by Amy O'Leary, and she'll be happy with that right before half time. A big confidence boost for her.
Absolutely. 2-4 to 4 points. Is that fair on the first half?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Meath are in control of the game. They do look a threat. they're playing a lot more confidence, a lot more structure. Waterford just seem to be chasing everything. They seem to be, everything is a bit laboured and difficult for them, whereas Meath just seem to be just going through the motions and getting success from it.
Absolutely. It's more like the Meath that we know, not the Meath that have been playing in the league so far. It's more like that, and that's without Vicky and Emma even coming back, and they've that luxury now for the second half. So Meath in a very good position.
Yeah, they are. I think Waterford aren't playing to their strengths today at all. I was expecting a bit more from them. So, yeah, Meath will be a lot more settled in the dressing room at half time, and they'll be going out to put Waterford to bed in the second half, and to bring up a big score difference. Like their score difference, I think coming into the game was -16 or something like that, and that's not what you need from reigning All-Ireland champions. So Meath will be looking to rack up the scoreboard a little bit, but Waterford, I'm expecting a response, and from their form in the league, they need a big response. Like they've been unlucky. Their last minute lost to Cork and to Kerry. They should be second, third in the table this year, and they're not. So they're not doing themselves justice out there today.
Absolutely, yeah. They're on 7 points, Meath on 4 points. So if Meath win today, they will join them there in Waterford's last game against Dublin next Sunday. But for today, it's 2-4 to 4 at half time. We'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes with the second half.
We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
I'll take a 99 with some raspberry sauce on it. That would do me nicely, even though it's wintry here. The ice cream van is doing good business. Ciara, do you like a wee ice cream yourself?
My body's temple. Yeah, a flake and some ripple, but no sprinkles. I don't like the
No
sprinkles.
sprinkles?
No.
You don't go for the sprinkles?
No, I don't like crunchy ice
Actually, I
cream.
don't blame you either, actually, yeah. What about the McFlurries? Do you like them?
No, I don't know when the last time I had a McDonald's was.
No, not a McDonald's. I mean, I know McDonald's is McDonald's,
Ah,
but
well, I'd
the
still
ice
count
creams
that.
are nice.
Ah, no.
Dairy Milk?
No.
Smarties, McFlurry?
Smarties are the same as the sprinkles. The shell on the outside's a bit.
I'll give you that.
I'm more honeycomb sort of. I
Yeah.
won't mind a crunchy in it now.
I hear
Crunchy
you.
would be
I hear
alright.
you. What about, are you Heroes or Celebrations or Roses or Quality Street? Where you are
Not Quality Street.
you see,
No, whatever
you're
the
too
one with
young.
the galaxies in it is. Like a
That's
galaxy.
that's the Heroes.
Yeah,
I
Heroes,
got
so.
one of them yesterday, and when you've got your club card, you can get a bit of money off too. You know,
Though-
that's how I spend my Saturday afternoons in the cafe with a box of them. But yeah, and there's the galaxies, there's the hard ones, and the ones with the soft caramel.
Yeah, they're nice with like a cup of coffee.
They are.
Yeah, they're like superior to dairy milk in that way, I think.
That's controversial stuff.
I don't know.
I mean, what are you going for an Easter egg then? Are you going for a dairy milk Easter egg? Or I mean, I got
no.
a Smarties one during the week, and it wasn't the same chocolate. I think you have to have dairy milk.
No.
And to me, it has to be in the fridge.
No. When it's in
No?
the fridge, it loses its taste.
No, it doesn't.
No, it
No,
does. It
that's
does. It does. Yeah.
We're going to fall out over this.
Ferrero Rocher or Lindt. Yeah, Lindt.
Lindt,
Like if you're getting an Easter egg, it's only once a year, so
get a nice
you
one.
might as well. Yeah.
Belgian chocolate.
Is it? I don't know.
I'm not sure if
Lindt
it is, but Belgian
is
chocolate's
Swiss?
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm more traditional that way. I'm more dairy milk, I have to say, you know. Are the players out yet? Because we're running out of chocolate talk here. The wind is actually quite strong. Over by the ice cream van, I noticed the flags are very strong, going across the pitch. Not at ground level here, but at that level. But
It's only on one side of the pitch, I think. The
yeah, strange.
far side to us, this side is very still all the way down to the corners. Far side seems a bit blustery.
It's a cool wee venue though, and I have to say the rain stopped, which is good. I thought we might get heavy rain, but we haven't, thank goodness. Waterford out for the second half, and just to remind you, there's one more round of games in the league before the finals. There's no semi-finals this year, and the last round, Cork against Meath, is next Saturday. And then it's Dublin Waterford on the Sunday, Donegal Mayo on the Sunday, and Galway Kerry. That could be a rehearsal for the final. And Donegal Mayo could be a relegation battle if Mayo don't beat Galway today. And Donegal have had a wretched league, but they could rescue things there, maybe. But they do have a minus 58, so maybe not. Actually, now that I look at it, it comes down to that. So they need to win by a huge amount, and I don't see that happening. But that's for next week. Here today, it is 2-4 to 4 at half time for Meath, and Meath have found their shooting boots after only 1 goal in 5 games. They scored 0-8, 1-7, 0-9, 0-9, 0-9. So they never scored more than 10 points in a game, which tells its story. And I'm sure that's not just, Ciara, down to Vicky being in Australia and Emma not playing as much. I mean, that's a really poor return, no matter what the tactics are. But then again, I suppose, if you look at the last few years, in a lot of the tight games, they've always scored around 1-8, haven't they?
Yeah, I think generally speaking, if you can keep a team to single figure scores below 10 points, you should win the game. So Meath not scoring above 10 points, that's not why they're down the bottom half of the table, as opposed to the top where they'd like to be. But goals win games against teams like Meath, against teams like Waterford that have that defensive counter-attack kind of system. But yeah, they'd still be disappointed in a return regardless so far this year.
Meath now coming out for the second half here at Ballinlough, and we're looking to see, and I'm sure most of the crowd are looking to see, is the frizzy hair there of Emma, or is Vicky there the familiar figure as well, or either of those players? And I'm sure they're probably not there for the start of the second half, but I imagine they'll bring them on at some point, certainly with the good lead that they have at the minute, and maybe please the crowd as well by bringing them on, because a lot of the girls, young girls to be fair, Ciara, are here to see them.
Yeah, they're the stars, they're the idols of the team, the players that you want to replicate and be like and play with. So it'd be nice to see them getting a bit of game time today.
Absolutely. So we're nearly ready for the start of the second half. Maggie Farley, the referee. And the lines people, by the way, Gemma Monaghan and Heather Monaghan from the Screen Club, sisters, on the line today. A nice little note as well. And the management having to sprint across the pitch here at Ballinlough before the start. And just checking to see if there's anyone out there. I don't see. Do you see one? Amy O'Dowd, 26.
Gone in corner forward.
Okay, so one change for Meath, and can you work out maybe who she's gone on for? I'll go into the play, and it's Waterford who win it from the throw in, and immediately a foul, which Maggie Farley gives an indication for, and this is Waring now. Waterford have a big second half ahead of them now. They've got 7 points. They're mid-table. They're not going to go down. They're not going to get into the league final, but at the same time, you would imagine they'd be wanting to put on a better performance than they did in the first half and show that they can compete at this level, because Ciara, they didn't really get close enough to Galway the last time, and maybe there's that psychological battle for them. Yes, they get a few good results earlier in the league, but can they live with the top teams?
That's been their problem the last couple of seasons. They're competitive, but they just can't get over that line. That's something missing, and you can see that this year against Galway, but especially against Cork and Kerry, they just didn't close out the game. And that's the difference between Waterford, being the bottom half of the league and just challenging in the championship, as opposed to, getting to semi-finals, where they deserve to be, in fairness.
Yeah, but there's no semi-finals this year. But yeah, there would have been if there had been, which would have been nice for them and would have been progress for them. But Division 1 still, staying in Division 1 is important. It's not to be snuffed at either, so it's a big thing to get there. Anya Sheridan did well under pressure. Was that Anya Sheridan? Actually, yeah, it was. Yeah, number 2. She's impressed me, actually. She's one of the newer players to be coming in there, and she's done well. And now Mary-Kate Lynch, she's looking for another goal. Now that the other players have got one, they're level with her. She wants to get up there and get a score, maybe? No, she's coming back. In fact, she's in exactly the same position where she scored the goal against Donegal. Now, it's Galogly who fancied that on her own, but she's put it to the right, and maybe that was the wind carried that a little bit. Yeah,
maybe, and it is that bit blustery on the far side. It might have been, Niamh might have been kicking into the wind a little bit there. I think she's been instrumental for them today. Most of their attacks have been down the right-hand flank of the pitch, and she's hugged that sideline. She's transitioned. She's been involved in most of their attacks. So she's been silent but deadly on that half of the pitch.
Yeah, and she's got Tyne along that side as well, and they are good at linking up. There's a push the referee has spotted. It's a free for Waterford. They go short to McCarthy. Give and go is the call. They're trying to copy Meath, if you like, and play the way that they do, but they're not just having the same impact. Not yet. This is McMaw, who drops out from full forward a lot to pick up ball on the side to try and give them a bit of width. And this is Waring being held up by New, and actually it's a free out. And some of the crowd not happy with that, but an interesting call. And maybe she felt that the player with the ball was holding or leaving her arm in there and holding the other player and looking for the free. That, I guess, was the way that the referee saw it. New got the free, and that is New. Now look what the goalkeeper is. That's Robin Murray getting through a few tackles and getting her free. Good play by the goalkeeper and moving it quickly. And now that they've got a few Waterford players, well, 5 or 6 of them up in that corner, Meath will look to transition quickly, and no better transition player than Tyne. She'll give it to O'Shaughnessy, who's always available inside. A little bit of room for Galogly, who's always prepared to carry it forwards. Had the wide the last time, was unlucky in the first half to hit the post, and the counter has really stalled, but they have now support from Lynch again. And over this side, Cleary. Cleary gives it in to the goal scorer, Amy O'Leary, one of the goal scorers. Back to Cleary. This is O'Leary again, and she just hands it out and recycles the ball. And Mary-Kate Lynch involved a lot in the forwards in the second half, certainly. Captain involved, Minogue involved, and a little hand pass over the shoulder looking for Tyne. And Tyne doesn't usually take on the shot, but this girl usually does, but that's going to drop short. Goalkeeper deals with it, and what is it about that end of the ground that both teams have been dropping balls short in there, but dealt with by the goalkeeper Evelyn O'Brien. And it's Waterford. Now this is the position they were in a minute ago, and they're just not moving up the field as swiftly as Meath do, and instead Ali Sherlock stole it off them and gives it into Grimes, and she's going to get a free in, but that's And she's taken it very quickly, but too quickly, and Waterford are going to get it. I was going to pause there and make a point, but I'll go with the play now because Waring has it again for Waterford, carrying it forward, and she's been chased but not caught by O'Leary, and that ball is, well, it's Sheridan again getting a hand to it. Really good work again by Anya Sheridan at number 2. But Waterford persist, and now McMaw has it. This is McGregor. She scored lots of goals, 5 goals, only 3 points to make that 4 points now, and that's a much better score. And after almost being the victims of their own downfall at the other end, they transitioned well, and that actually was like one of Meath's good scores in the first half.
Yeah, that must be the shooting end or the scoring end of the pitch. Those shots were dropping short in the first half for Waterford.
Sub is on for Waterford, number 24, that's Niamh Parr. And she's coming on for... Trying to see who's gone off down to my right. And 11 it might have been, Fitzgerald possibly. I think it was, don't see her out there now. And big press from Waterford now, trying to win this from the kick out, and they didn't do that in the first half, but they've done it well and done it effectively and might get a score out of it for Waring, but Minogue just got in the way and she ran out of space, and McMaw has run into Galogly, is it? And they have a chance still here, Waterford. This is better from them. Don't know why they didn't do this in the first half and really press the kickouts, but it's Waring again. It's got 3 in the first half, and that might drop to the left, and it does drop harmlessly wide to the left, but better.
Yeah, that's the first kick out where Meath had to slow it down, and Waterford got a chance to get hands on. They've gone man to man, which they don't generally do. So it's working. They're a lot tuned in. There's 2 from 2.
Absolutely, they've got it, and they're trying to move it quickly, and everyone seems to be looking for it. It's almost as if 1 point has energised them. They're trying to get in behind, and that's a great ball actually, and it's a chance for McMahon, and she takes it brilliantly and puts it over the bar, and that's 2 in a row. This is a different Waterford team.
Yeah, they're a lot sharper. They're moving the ball a lot quicker and getting the heads up. But they've more players inside the opposition 45 on these attacks than they had in the first half. They're committing more forward.
And it is causing problems for Meath. Where is Robin Murray going for this one? Well, she drops it in nicely actually to Galogly, who timed her run really well and gets a free as well. It was important to win that just to turn the tide a little bit. That was good play by Galogly and by the goalkeeper. And Galogly gets it back from New. And New comes inside, runs into a little bit of traffic, so just pops it out to Minogue. So they stretch the play. A good kick pass from her over to the right hand side, and I think that's Sheridan again, who is coping well. In fact, I said it was a good kick. It was actually quite tricky for her, but she coped very well. And O'Sullivan moves it quickly. This is much better from Meath, and Minogue is getting up with the attack and making herself available. Will she get it from Tyne? It's Grimes. And she comes into, is that the number 26 in there? That is Amy O'Dowd, who came on at half time. Comes all the way out to Galogly. She was involved about 8 minutes ago, it seems, in this move. There's a nice little pop pass if it works. Doesn't quite, because Murray spotted it and Waterford have got it back. This is turning into an interesting second half. It could have gone the other way, but Waterford getting stuck in now in this sort of position, though they've given the ball away a few times here. They need to be careful.
Yeah, you can be punished or put it on the back foot straight away. So keeping the ball secure is very important.
This is Cora Murray, does well. Eve Parr now gives it to the number 24, Niamh Parr. This is better. This is Waring. She's had a good game. She's been one of their best players today. Not just the 3 scores, but she's been lively and inventive. There's a chance now. And it's dropping short. Keeper has to watch it. Brilliantly plucked out of the air by the goalkeeper. That had danger written all over it, but great hands from the goalkeeper there. And New now is going to be able to take it away, but good pressure from Waterford, and that's going to be a free out, and we're going to give you an opportunity to praise the goalkeeper there, Ciara.
Yeah, good hands. She's very, very confident, which something you'd like to see in a player getting an outing in a big game. So that's good, and I'm very impressed with Robin, how she's playing nearly as a sweeper behind Meath's transition, so she's making herself available if a certain channel gets shut down. I think she might be causing...
Oh, hold on, that's a bad ball by New, and it's a chance for New or McMaw, is it? No, it's Breed McMaw. She's put it wide. That was a golden opportunity there to get a goal out of absolutely nothing. That was a gift for them, and they didn't take it.
Yeah, I was about to say she's causing Sean Ennis a little bit of worry in that she's leaving her goal mouth maybe a bit too soon or too much. and could have got caught out there. Waterford didn't see that, or didn't spot that there was no goalkeeper there.
Here
Could have been an open
Here
goal.
comes Emma Duggan. Emma's coming into the play and replacing Amy O'Leary, who got that goal for them. So Emma into the play now, and she goes straight in around the middle of the field as you would expect.
Yeah, she's going to be a link player. I expect Stacey Grimes or Neva Sullivan to play a little bit deeper now and get on the end of her passes.
Short kick out, and it just about works. Again, the press from Waterford. They don't profit from it, but they are posing a problem for Meath in this second half. And yeah, Duggan has just gone off sort of into the forward area. I think she prefers playing around the middle more, where you can have more options and carry it, but she's going to have to get back now, as are the rest of the Meath players, because Waterford have got it back and they have their tails up, and there's room here for Waring. She's in another good position for her team and instantly puts a ball in, and that's a great ball, and New gets in front. In fact, New did brilliantly there. It's a good battle between her and Lauren McGregor in there, and McGregor has eventually got it back. They're having quite a tussle in there, and then Duggan comes in with a challenge, and the free had already been awarded. That's some battle in there, isn't it? New against McGregor.
Yeah, it's been scrappy since the first half. In fairness, they've been at each other, but they're very competitive footballers. Defended New very well there. I think she ran out a little bit of steam, but still a free. You can't put your hands on the player. You can't put.
But New did well originally when the ball came in to deflect it away. I mean, that could have been dangerous, and Waring was good. Actually, see, it seems to have hurt herself. No, she's fine. And there's another sub, and now it is Shelley Melia, who was due to be in from the start. She's now coming in for Meath. Shelley Melia wearing number 9 from Dunboyne, same club as Wall and Duggan, and she gets in there now, and Stacey Grimes is going back to try and cover a little bit. I'm trying to see who's actually coming off. The instructions are, and it's actually Sean Ennis coming off, and maybe that's, as you were saying, Ciara, she was having her hands full out there over the last while.
Yeah, I think Meath are bringing on some big guns
now.
now.
Duggan's got it. She snatched that one. Sorry to interrupt you, but she's just snatched that one, and there's a break on and gives it to O'Sullivan, and looking for the pass now and pops it over the top, and that's a good ball for the runner Amy O'Dowd, and Meath looking to get back into this game in the second half. I don't think they've scored yet in the second half. No, they haven't. And that attack breaks down though. And that's Murray over on the far side, I think. I think it's one of the Murrays. And this is definitely McGrath, the captain. And there's a little bit of room there. Meath have dropped very deep. Now there's a lot of green jerseys around her. Now they come out to Aoife Murray. There is support arriving. Duggan comes in with a challenge, but fouls.
Yeah, she could be in a little bit of danger there. She swung her arm. I don't think she made much effort to go for the ball. I'd like to see it again.
The player was in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just come up there. Maybe we could watch that again. No, she's okay. She's not getting a yellow anyway. Just she does get spoken to.
I think she's very over-eager to get into her game, get her hands on the ball. There
it is again now. Maybe see it again here. Here's the incident coming now. The ball's up in the air, and she had her eye on the ball, to be fair.
Yeah, she did have her eye on the ball, and she was nearly anticipating the tackle, that over-eagerness. But Emma Duggan gets a lot of praise for her going forward, but she does that a lot of unseen work defensively, and it's a massive strength in her game. She doesn't shy away from hard work and doesn't get a lot of praise for that either.
Yeah, last year's All-Ireland final, her defensive play, particularly in the second half, went largely unnoticed, but was outstanding. In fact, I remember Cora Stonting pointing it out after the game that she should get Player of the Year on the balance of that. But it wasn't spectacular, but really, really important. Now, Waterford, 2 points in the second half, and they've got both of them. But can they get through and get this gap closed a little bit? That's the centre half back, Emma Murray, taking on Emma Duggan, and gets her free. And if they get this over, they're back to 3.
Yeah, they're doing well. They, again, like I said earlier, they're getting a lot of players forward. In fact, they're only the goalkeeper in their own half of the field now. So they've a lot more options in their attack. They just need to remember that they have to keep moving. If they're giving passes to someone standing still, it's just playing into Meath's hands.
So Waring, 2-4-6 to bring it back to a 3-point game. On the right side for the right footer. Has she got it? She has. No, she hasn't. She has. I wasn't quite sure. I think he slipped a little bit there. The umpire in his arms went out, and I thought he was giving it wide. But it's 3 points in it. Waterford, all 3 scores in this second half. So it's just got a little bit interesting, just coming up to the 3-quarter mark. Meath haven't scored yet in the second half. I wonder, have they anyone in the subs that they might be thinking of bringing on? This is the number 2, Sheridan, who's been one of my players of the game so far, and slips it to Melia, who's just in the play, wearing 11, but she's come on as a sub, gives it into Minogue. And who's there? It's Duggan. But the pass just goes beyond her. Back to Minogue. O'Sullivan now says, we haven't got a point yet, we need to get on the board, and she puts it just to the right, and she puts it wide, and Meath remain without a score in the second half.
Waterford got very lucky there, just a pass just out of reach, too far ahead of the runner. But Waterford, when they're transitioning back into their defensive shape, they're not marking any players, and that's giving Meath room to play.
Now, from the kick out, she goes high up the middle just, but it's... Yeah, I thought it was going to go to Melia, but actually it's gone to Waterford. It's worked for them this time. And that ball again, in low into the forwards, and they battle for it. Foul by Mary-Kate Lynch on the 17. That's Catherine Hines for Waterford, who's come into the play. And this is McMaw. Forced to come inside to Hines, to Murray, Emma Murray. 3 in it now. They've been chipping away in the second half. They've got it down from 6 to 3. Haven't really had a sniff of a goal. 5 is Eve Power. They're just going sideways now. The goalkeeper has been competent when called upon. Crowd very quiet here, but I'd say if Vicky Wall took off her tracksuit top, that things might liven up a little bit. They'd love to see her come in. We're down to the last 15. I wonder, will she make an appearance? Waterford pressing. Number 19 is McGrath. They're still trying to work a way through. They're being extremely patient, but they're forced to go back out again. Very patient defending and disciplined defending as well. In fact, they're going to get the free out. And it was kind of the immovable object against the irresistible force in there. In the end, the defence won.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Waterford there. They're very patient, very relaxed, didn't panic. They had to get past 15 Meath players inside the Meath 45 in around the D area, so not an easy task. They were very patient, but just unlucky. They could have easily won a free there.
And guess who has just appeared on the left touchline? I'm going to call my cameraman Patter to tell him. There's 2 subs actually warming up there, and one is Vicky Wall, and the other is Ashley McCabe from Summerhill, same club as Mary-Kate Lynch, who is on the ball right now and under serious pressure though. And she is blown for overcarrying as well, so it's a free to Waterford. They are still pressing, and they have got all 3 points of this half, and if they get another one now, it will be a very interesting finish to this game, and maybe that's why Meath are calling on Vicky Wall to come into the play. She is definitely going to make an appearance. She is on the line. She's waiting for the next break and play. So 2 subs about to come in for Meath. Oh, it's well played there by Emma Murray for Waterford. They're trying to find a way through, but Minogue is there. And they just made it very congested for Waterford, as they do. Waterford have got it back though. Good play by Murray to win it back. Referee says play on, Waring. And she's been their main shooter today, but that's going to go to the left, and it's going to go wide, and indeed it does go wide. And now I'm looking down to my left. 2 subs are coming on. Ashley McCabe and a certain Victoria Wall coming all the way back from Australia, and she takes her place right in the full forward area for Meath for the last 10-12 minutes of this game. She's in the play as we expected, and immediately Megan Dunford goes back to marker.
Yeah, there's the plan in place, but you know, it's Vicky versus Megan and the goalkeeper inside that 45. You know, unfortunately,
you'd be worried if you were from Waterford.
I can only see that going one way if the ball gets in there quick.
Well, to be fair now, Megan Dunford's a great, we're not saying anything against her. She was an All-Star nominee in 2017. But you don't want to leave Vicky too much room.
No, I wouldn't want anybody one-on-one with that much space.
Waterford have just taken off 9 and 10, by the way. Kellyanne Hogan and Anya O'Neill. So both teams making lots of changes. And 23 is in. That's Nisha Whelan for Waterford. There's another player in that I didn't spot. I'm sure I'll pick it up in the next few minutes. But we are now down to the last 11 minutes. And the game still in the melting pot. 2-4 to 7. 3 in it. Meath haven't scored in this half, but now they have Duggan and Wall on the pitch, and Cleary going forward almost too fast. She left the ball behind. Gilugly. And I can see number 30 Wall up ahead, making lots of runs off the ball to try and create a little bit of space. She's not staying in close to the square. And usually, of course, her game is sort of out around the middle of the field, taking the ball at pace. But O'Shaughnessy is held up there. Now she's getting a free. And the substitute who came on a minute ago, McCabe, leaves it to O'Shaughnessy. Now, where is the movement? Here is Vicky Waller. First touch since coming back, and puts it wide. And maybe the way she handled that, it looked like she was expecting an oval ball. Maybe was that the problem?
I don't know. I think she has a round ball over there in Australia with her as well.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, but first chance for her there, and not taken, and Meath remain scoreless in the second half. But those 2 goals proving so crucial. Another kick out just right up the middle. Melia not able to collect it, but she goes scrapping for it, and it's going to be a hop.
Interesting one there on Waterford's kickouts. They just completely left their full back line, and everyone swarmed in around that centre back position for the high ball. So risky if you don't secure possession. Meath could just get hands on the ball and a quick one inside to their full forwards.
And McCabe is going in for the hop. Got a little bit of help in there from Grimes, and it's a Waterford ball. 51 minutes nearly gone. Waterford 3 points down, but playing like a team that are definitely not out of this game and are capable as the rain starts to fall a little bit heavier. Meath get it back. Mary-Kate Lynch has it to Sullivan. And she's fouled unceremoniously, so she'll get her free, and Meath will not be in a particular hurry to take it. They will want to keep possession here and kill this game a little bit. Or will they go for the jugular? They have the comfort of the lead. 3 points, and Waterford haven't been near the goal. Cleary now takes it and injects a little bit of pace into the play. Melia is ahead of her, trying to create a little bit of space, and free out. I was looking ahead of the ball there. What happened there, Ciara? Did you see?
Too many steps.
All right, over carrying just.
Yeah.
You sort of get the feeling this game might just explode a little bit, but might not.
Yeah, I think it needs a goal now to inject a bit of life into it.
There's a little bit of injection of pace now for Waterford. McMaw has it. Players off the shoulder. 19 is Kate McGrath. They're just trying to find a way through, but they keep having to go into the corners and trying to pick off a point here and there. But they're so organised in there, everyone knows exactly where they need to be. 27 is Katie Murray. So all the Murrays have played today, all 4 of them, on Mother's Day. She's 4 daughters out there playing for Waterford today. She's well used to that, I'm sure, at this point. This is Waring, trying to get on that right foot, and she has been a threat all day long, and it's come off the post, and this time gone inside, and she's got her score, and I make it that's 4 for her, and it's now 8, and it's a 2-point game. Robin Murray looking to take the kick out very quickly because possession's so important from it, and they do get possession, and look who's all the way back there. It's Niamh O'Sullivan getting important possession, just being alive at the right time and realising that they need to get the ball, and that's exactly what they've done to avoid the press, and that's good intelligent play from Meath. But down to 2 points now, 7 minutes to go, and Waterford have it. If they get a goal here, they could sneak this when this could be sensational. They've got room, and it is blasted to the net, and Waterford, out of absolutely nothing, have punished Meath, and they have got a goal, and they are ahead. That's a surprise, but it's a super goal, and you have to credit Waterford for the way they've played in this second half.
Yeah, too casual there on the ball, and a free in their own half, got intercepted. I think a bit of an accidental collision there with the goalkeeper, yeah. and studs to the chest. Not a nice one, but
let's have another look at it. Actually, can we have a look at that goal again? Let's roll it again while this injury is getting a little bit of treatment. So it was the 27 who slipped it inside there, who had come on that I mentioned a minute ago. And is that McGregor again?
It's McGregor, yeah.
It's McGregor's 6th goal in the National League, in the 27, Katie Murray, so she's just come in and made an impact. So Waterford have turned this round in the second half, 6 points down, and now they're 1 point up. And I was giving Meath credit, Ciara, for the way that they were dealing with the last score, but they were a little bit sloppy, and it's happened a few times here.
Yeah, I suppose, generally you'd be fairly confident with numbers back to be able to transition the ball out, but you can't switch off, you can't fall asleep, and yeah, they got punished, and Waterford needed to take that chance.
Yeah. We thought they might create it, but it was sort of from a mistake, to be fair. But now Wall is out around the middle of the field with Duggan, and they're looking to get possession. But New is having to battle for this one a little bit closer to goal, and they've got it again, and it's Lauren McGregor again. 6 goals now and 4 points in the league, and that's going to be a free in, and it's all Waterford at the minute. Meath can't get up the field. 2-4 plays 1-8. Didn't see this coming, Ciara.
No, but we knew goals were going to be important in the game, and Waterford weren't getting goals, so they're kind of out of touch or out of reach. But that's gotten them right back into the game now. And they, in fairness, they've committed players forward. Meath have been sitting back in their defensive shape, and that was kind of playing into Waterford or into their hands. Meath hands in the first half, but Waterford just said, let's go for it, let's push right up on them, and they've got success. They've had more scoring opportunities this half than Meath have.
That's for sure. Meath have not scored in the entire half in 26 minutes, and they need a score now or they're going to lose this game, and that's another free for Waterford. It's all Waterford at the minute. They now are in control, and they are sensing what would be maybe not a famous victory, but certainly a significant one for them. We were talking about them in the first half not really doing enough. Well, they've certainly done plenty in the second half, and they would claim this certainly as a significant win. Last year they lost by 8 points to Meath, but to win here in Meath would be certainly something that would give them a lot of hope and confidence for the summer ahead. And they're keeping the ball here very nicely and making Meath run for it, and Meath need to get that ball and get up the field if they're going to rescue this one after the couple of goals in the first half. They look to be in a really good position, but now they're looking at having to dig this one out. It's McMaw as Waterford keep the ball, and that is the cry from the sideline. That's exactly what they're doing, and they'll be happy to do that for the next few minutes as well. We're down to the last 3 minutes of normal time, and it's Waterford looking more likely to score. And Waterford very good at keeping ball, and Meath just can't get near it. O'Sullivan pressing a little bit. And they're just passing the parcel here, and they're running the ball from side to side, and Meath just can't get there.
This is a big 3 minutes for Waterford to see out the game, which they haven't done in recent fixtures. So to control the game, that would be a big scalp, as well as beating the All-Ireland Championship. So massive test for them mentally now.
Good hand in from Mary-Kate Lynch, but it's still Waterford with the ball, and they're still moving it from side to side. Yeah, I know you're mentioning that, and I'm thinking of the Waterford Cork game, which they should have won, and they got penalised right at the end. And that's a foul, that's a free in, and it's against Duggan, and she's already been spoken to, and Maggie Farley is going straight to her book, and Emma Duggan could no, she's going away now. She's maybe calling her back. Is this going to be yellow, Ciara?
It was only her second foul, I think, or intentional foul. I think she might have been a little bit hard done by there. I think she's just the stronger player in that collision, and oftentimes that's been given as a free to the defender as well.
Yeah, that's fair. So now we're down to the last couple of minutes. Waterford keeping possession. Can they hold out here? And Meath aren't really pressing out, are they?
Meath don't tend to press out. They have 15 players behind the ball. It's very hard to break down, so you don't need to go chasing, you just need to keep discipline. But Waterford have so many players free on the right hand side of the pitch that they're not using.
Free for Meath. Now they've got possession. Now can they do something about it? 58 minutes 40 seconds. They're running out of time. They haven't scored in the second half, so are they going to do it right at the end here? Are we going to have a little bit of drama to please the home support? There's another foul, and Wall is going to leave it for Cleary. And Meath now, will he be composed and patient as they go forward? Melia digs the ball out and gives it to O'Shaughnessy. Back in, but it's been stolen in there. It's been stolen for Waterford, and Emma Murray now has it, and Meath just cannot make any headway in this second half. Cleary's got a hand in, she's penalised, and she just backheels the ball away in frustration. 59 minutes. They just didn't kick on at all in this second half, and they've eventually been caught, and looks like they might lose this. Waterford close. Lots of players on this side, like Eve Power, like Cora Murray. And Meath, careful not to foul, but they need to get in and win this ball, and they just can't seem to get close. And Murray, or Duggan rather, is careful not to foul. And there's Murray, Emma Murray. And she's got support from McMaw, who's been busy all through the game and is always available. Emma Murray trying to get through, and goes through 3 or 4 players, and they might even get a goal out of this. Another score to put 2 in it. No, it's gone wide, it's gone to the left. And will there be one more chance now? The referee actually has her hand up and 45. Is going to award a 45, and that's important because it means that Waterford are going to keep possession here. So there was a touch in it on the ball as it went in there, and that's great news for Waterford because it prevents Meath from getting the ball. When was the last time Meath didn't score in the entire half? You're probably talking 5 or 6 years ago, back in the bad old days for them. And they haven't really had that many chances either. It's not like you say, well, there was one that they nearly got through for a goal and they misplaced the pass, but not much. And that's a tribute to Waterford. Really good performance by them in the second half. They've ruined the script. It's Dunford. They're just going to keep possession here. And we're now 1 minute into added time at the end of the game. The first half there was only 31 seconds extra played. I don't think there were too many stoppages in the second half. So Waterford just playing out this game. This is not what the home support came here to see, but Waterford aren't worried about that, and they might even get a goal through Emma Murray, and it's blocked down I think by Galogly in there. It's still a chance, and it's still blocked in there. Now will the referee allow time for Meath to get up the pitch? Look at the press there from 4 Waterford players trying to stop Meath. They're trying to do a Meath on Meath. Emma Duggan wins it, wants to take it quickly. She does take it quickly, takes it to Grimes, but she doesn't get it. Instead, it's Breed McMaw getting it. She's had a super game and she might just finish this completely. No, it's gone wide. No, it's a free in. She's got a free in. The referee has given a free in, and that surely will kill this game. And Waring, who is in a very defensive position, immediately set off all the way up the field because this is her range, and she is looking at this. She will take this. And she was the player who got their first couple of scores of the game, and now it looks like she's going to finish it. And there's a card, is it as well? And it's Stacey Grimes who has got a card. So it's all ending in disarray for me. A yellow card and a second point that surely, Ciara, will kill the game. Surely that's it.
Yeah, simple things kind of let Meath down here at the end, you know, from their key players. More shocked to see giving the ball away in the centre of the field. Stacey Grimes not securing possession from that pass there, but I think sometimes you have to make your luck as well, and Waterford really worked hard and have been a lot more patient and intelligent in the second half, and that's their reward.
And that just drops over the bar, and surely that is indeed it. It's a 2-point lead for Waterford. What a second half they have had. 2-4 at half time, remember. So they have scored 1-5 without reply in the second half. The referee lets it go on. I wonder if Meath can get up and get a goal here. This is McCabe, and she gets fouled. That would be dramatic. Emma Duggan now, a little bit of room for her. She hasn't had much of that. Now where's the support? Inside it's Cleary. Wall is further inside, but there's a lot of navy jerseys there. A point is no good for Meath. Duggan goes for the cross-field pass looking for Megan Tyne. Finds her. Is there time? 2 points down Meath without a score in the entire half. They have gone from a 6-point lead to 2 down. Niamh O'Sullivan. They have to work it in for a goal. Will the referee allow them time? Is there time? Deep into injury time at the end of this game. We're in the 64th minute, nearly in the 65th. They need something dramatic. Melia tries to create that dramatic. Instead, it's Tyne. It's Melia again, actually. It is. She's trying to get through. She knows a point is no good. Wall now. Can she lash one to the net? That's asking too much, surely. It's a free in. They look to take it quickly. They need to take it quickly. Or is it a free out? No, it's a free in, surely. Nobody really going forward urgently to take it. Is it a free in? I'm
Yeah,
confused.
it's a free in.
Oh, it is a free in,
Meath
yeah.
are just preparing for the kick out.
I don't know if there'd be time. And I don't think a point is much use to them here. I would have thought they might get a few players around it and try to work something in, but maybe they think they will have time. Maybe the referee has indicated that. 64.5 minutes gone. This will bring it back to 1, but yeah, Emma Duggan brings it back to 1, but the crowd getting a little bit excited, but I'm not sure that there's going to be time here. I think she might blow as the ball's kicked out.
Waterford just needs to get their hands on this ball. It's the
Yeah.
biggest kick out of the game for them. Biggest play of the game for
Meath
them.
need to press like they pressed Cork in the All-Ireland semi-final in 2021. Keeper just goes long and high, and they are getting time. The referee says play on, and it's fallen nicely for Waterford, and they're going to break here because Meath have committed so many players up, and it's Lauren McGregor again. A goal today. She's a goal a game player. 6 goals in 6 games. Anything would do now. In fact, just hold possession would do for them. They have the ball up the field, but Vicky Wall wins it back and does brilliantly back there. That's her first real contribution of the game, and look at the battling qualities there. And she's got possession, and maybe she is lifting her team, and that's a clear foul in there, and it's a chance for Meath to get a free and get up the pitch, and it's she's going to make them go all the way back. She's saying take it from the right position. Deep into injury time. 66th minute of the game, and the referee looking at her watch, and I think she's taking a note, but is she checking her watch? Is she going to allow play? I don't think so. She does blow the final whistle, and Waterford have held out, and frustration here for the home team, but a significant victory for Waterford. They have won in the 6th round of the league, and they would be delighted with this victory, especially after leading by 6 points at half time. And I'm looking at some of their players around the pitch congratulating each other, and the manager Pat Sullivan very satisfied with the second half performance. 6 points down, they held the champions scoreless in the end, well, until right at the end, from a free right at the end, and they scored 1-5, I make it, in that second half to win this game by a point. And Ciara Trant, do they deserve it on the balance of the whole game?
I think, yeah, they deserve to win the second half. Meath will be very, very disappointed with their attacking play there in the second half. Waterford will be happy that they just conceded that 1 point. I think that was a very tactical, intelligent foul to make. No goals, force them to take the free. The kick-out strategy of going long to a crowd of Waterford jersey that wasn't working for them in the first half. It fell their way. The breaking ball fell their way there at the end of the second half. So that's something possibly they've worked on and are tending to use. But yeah, I don't know. I think a game of 2 halves here today.
Absolutely. In the second half they were so good. Was it just simply a case that they just really pressed in the second half on the kickouts? Was it as simple as that?
Not so much on the kickouts. I think Meath still getting their kickouts off, bar the start of the second half. I think it was fairly straightforward to them once they got a bit of speed into their kickouts. But I just think they just pressed up. They just committed numbers forward. They kind of won their individual battles in the second half and didn't sit back. They probably did they have too much respect for Meath in the first half and Meath's game plan, whereas in the second half they just went for it and put the pressure on Meath, and they deserved the victory based on that second half performance, but Meath will be terribly disappointed.
They'll take a lot of confidence from this, because we were talking earlier about they don't do it against the top teams, and they've just done it.
Yeah, and into the last round of the league against the Dubs in there next weekend. That'll be big for them, travelling up again. So nothing to lose, and a great league campaign so far. Beating the All-Ireland champions today is a massive lift for them. Championship just around the corner now, so a great day for Waterford. They'll be happy travelling back down.
And who would be your player of the match and contenders? And I'm going to give you a list there. You can go through them if you like there, and maybe pick someone out there. And I'm going to try and get an interview. But if you can talk your way through those teams for me.
Yeah, I think Ava Waring was very good throughout the game, especially attacking. Everything kind of went through her a little bit. Laura McGregor wasn't getting her poaching goals in the first half, but they came to the fore in the second half for her, getting the goal again, sticking to her recent form. Megan Dunford was very secure in full back, particularly in the second half. I think her communication and instructing definitely improved a lot. Of course, you have Emma Murray around the sixth position, playing in through midfield was fantastic as well. And on the Meath side, I thought Aoibhinn Cleary had a really, really good game. Niamh O'Sullivan as well in the first half in particular. I thought Katie New had a fantastic game, corner back too. But overall, two solid team performances. I don't think anyone stood out too much as being a massive player on either side.
All right, thanks very much, Ciara. And I've got Pat Sullivan with me now. I've dragged you away from congratulating your players, Pat. You were going round each player individually, and there's a lot of delight over there. This is a significant victory.
Yeah, it is. Look, we're probably disappointed where we were coming into today. We really wanted to try and get to them top two positions and get to Croke Park, and we knew coming today we had to perform a lot better. Probably 20 minutes of really good football against Galway, but didn't perform for the other 40. Done a lot of work over the last couple of weeks and worked really hard. Coming here today we wanted to set up a challenge against a super team, and I think the first half we were probably a little bit nervous. We kind of forced things that wasn't done, and we had a good chat at half time, and we just said we'd go back to what we're really good at, back to the basics, and I think it showed in the second half that we can box, I suppose, with the best teams in the country.
When you say you went back to what you were good at, you really pressed their kickouts early in the second half, and you got joy from that, and all over the field you just seemed to up your game.
Yeah, 100%. But look, you can turn over kickouts and give the ball back as quick. I think was the most enjoyable thing for me was the way we minded the ball. Like, this is a team obviously very defensive as well, but they're very good at the job they do, and credit to them, they have the results for it. So we knew today that if we win a kick out, there's no point in rushing it. You got to be patient, and we were. And I think certain individuals on the field today stood up and led by example. You can see that in the final result, how glad they are. But look, we all know that we've nothing won and we need to move on. We have a Munster Championship to look forward to, and that's where Meath focus on now.
I have to say, 4 points only in the first half. They got a couple of goals, and we were questioning, can this Waterford team, and it's an old question, can they stand up against the top teams? You've just done that.
Yeah, 100%. I think we've done it against a lot of teams this year. We're probably very unlucky in our first two games. We didn't get the results we needed. We got a draw and lost in the last kick of the game. I think that gave us a belief that we want. I think the belief is there today. But I think, as I said, there's more work in us. I don't think we're the finished article yet. I think we have a lot to do. Continue to progress the way we are. I'll be looking forward to the summer ahead.
Lauren McGregor, goal a game, 6 goals in the league, and she got that crucial goal. She was there to pounce, and she's top scorer in the league in goals, or equal top scorer, and that was so crucial for you.
Yeah, 100%. And Lauren has been around the panel a good few years as well. She's massive experience, and it's probably this year was our first chance, I suppose, to get into the team, and we have a lot of changes in the team this year. I think the way we're playing really suits Lauren. She's talented, look, and she has what every footballer wants. She's a left and a right leg, and you mark her left, she'll score on the right. You mark her right, she'll score on the left. And I think the results have showed this year she's been the difference in a lot of our games.
And Eva Waring, I think, in the middle of the field deserves a mention. I mean, she scored the first point, and I think maybe the last point as well, but she was always available and always finding space and always a danger. Yeah,
100%. Eva's a super girl. Look, she's only a minor as well. Kellyanne there as well, coming from midfield for deep ball, was super as well, and in her delivery. But I think all over the field it was the work rate that we knew at half time we hadn't worked, and that was the disappointing thing. And like, the 2 goals were very unlucky, definitely the second one. But I think that's the strength we have now in the panel, and we didn't die in that, and we said let's go and we'll win the second half, and if we win the second half we win the game, and that was the big point for us.
Brilliant, well done, Pat. Thanks a million. Thanks for coming over. That's Pat Sullivan, the manager of Waterford. Very pleased. And Ciara, just on what he was saying there, I mean, a few interesting points there that he was making about the way the team played, and as we spotted, or as you spotted, they really upped their game in the second half.
Yeah, the massive work rate. And to get a result at the end of that work rate would be huge for them as well. And you know, they'd be skipping back down the road with a smile on their face. You know, they probably deserve the victory based on their performance in the league. You know, it'd be a long journey home if they didn't grind out the win. But this is going to be a nice trip for them now. A nice way to finish the league. They'll be very happy.
Well, they finish next week against Dublin. That'll be an interesting one next Sunday, actually, won't it? If they play the way they did today, because they'll take confidence from this. Yeah,
Waterford cause every team problems, but it's another test for them, and like Pat said, you know, they're sparring with the top teams now, and they're getting performances out of those battles. So you know, they've nothing to lose going into the match next weekend.
All right, you enjoyed today?
I did, yeah. Prepared the weather. I'm a little bit cold, but
I know, and there's the ice cream bands leaving now. Obviously didn't do too much business today, but no, seriously, I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was one of those games you always thought, is there a twist here at the end? And Waterford provided that. It could have been one of those games that just died, but it ended up quite an entertaining game. And from a Meath point of view, just to finish, I mean, it's asked more questions. I mean, obviously Vicky's just back, and obviously Emma's just back. They'll get a lot better, but it's asked a lot of questions of them in this league, and in particular today. They'll not be happy with losing here today, and they're just not quite right at the minute.
No, and look, you don't want to sail through the league either. You need those questions to be asked of you, because If you don't, you get found out in Championship. So it's not a bad thing. Of course, you'd like to be in a different position. You like to get wins and you like to grind out the dirty wins. You need to learn how to do that as well. So yeah, I've no doubt that Meath will have solutions to this today. I think maybe it was, they didn't show up sort of thing. And yeah, you have your big players, the likes of Emma and Vicky coming off the bench, but they didn't get service today, and those players can't perform unless you're getting them the ball and they're getting in the right positions when they're on the ball, and there's two sides to that. So yeah, Meath have a lot of work to do, but you don't write them off. Championship is a different competition altogether.
Absolutely. Okay, Ciara Trant, thank you very much. Thanks to the team here in the rain in Ballinlough. It's a victory for Waterford. From the whole team, it's goodbye.
We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.